Welcome to the Fanfiction Contempt Theater Podcast 9001. Oh, because I still have lung damage from Friday. I've been coughing like the entire weekend. Yes, I have to laugh at my suffering, Max. Now, I am your host, Sneaky Devil, as always, and we're just gonna get right on into it. After, of course, our disclaimer message of reminder, everyone: do not contact the authors featured in these fanfictions, because that would be considered harassment by Twitch guidelines. So don't do it, kids. What? Why? What? Well, tough shit.
Traction slacks. He's way more entertaining than us.
Fuck you. You weren't even the audio. I forgot to switch the audio to headset, so don't worry. Everyone only heard me. Hello, C8.
Oh,
God
my
damn it, Sneaky.
God, have you been talking to yourself again?
No! What? No!
Zarlon wants to know if he can join.
Oh, sure, man. If you want, no. I mean, we're gonna be doing Naruto
He
shit.
just has banjo music. Sneaky, he just has banjo music going.
Of course he does. Of course he does. I mean, you can always watch the stream after he's done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
it's so much more
let me
entertaining
just,
in real time.
Exit that, drop that down, swing that flute, and then switch this to dashboard mode. Alright! So, and here is the link to the fanfiction. I guess we should tell the people on your server that if they want to hear you laugh about that in fanfiction, they should hear.
You mean the link?
Yeah, I'll drop the link down. Alright. So I put this one down for we have to read this because of the title of the first chapter is My Immortal.
What?
I
What?
sense a shitpost.
Spiritual relations. Everything you wanted to know about the Hyugas, but were too afraid to ask. Warning: Neji and Hinata are possessed and are out of character. Written with Calliope Starmist and a furry.
Wait, haven't we run into Calliope Starmist before?
Probably. Vodka Balishka Ushanka, thank you for your inspiring words, Axels. Sneaky is always talking to himself. After all, everyone here is a figment of his imagination. Exactly, C8. I'm glad you keep up with that. Do I need to call the nice man in white to get Sneaky? Nice. Yes. Anyway, when Neji woke up, what he saw wasn't what he'd been expecting. He wasn't in bed. It was too cold and too hard to be a bed. Debatable. On opening his eyes and looking around, he discovered that he was lying on a slab of marble in a room ominously decorated with leering carven, yeah, I guess that is carven faces of dead main house Hyuga. He knew
Hey,
who they were.
Sneaky, the curtain is still closed.
Wait, what? Oh, did I not switch it over?
That is
No.
correct.
Haha! I fixed it!
We gotta get a. You know what? The first thing we should do when we get some actual money, get a snappy transition for that curtain.
I would
what?
love to get some sort of like video overlay. To have
I'm
the
sorry,
curtain
what?
opening to
I'm sorry, what makes you think we need money for that? I was halfway through that and then gave up. Because no one actually
Because you
requested it.
gave up.
Because you gave up, I think is his point. Also, when Brawly, Max? When are you gonna release the first episode, Max? They paid you $30, Max.
That's true. They did actually pay you for it.
Technically, Sneaky, paid me for it.
Quit being pedantic, Max. Give us an update.
Well, the subbing has not gone that well because I very nearly lost my sanity having to listen to it for the 6th time.
Welcome to editing.
You want to try that again with the man who's edited multiple videos at this point?
I spent 4 semesters editing, Max. I know how horrible it is.
I got a
4
trump on all of you.
semesters. That's adorable.
I got a trump on all of you. I used to make videos for the local news. So you all can eat shit.
I'm sorry. They let you do that.
My videos were the best thing. Do keep in mind I was in the Boondocks, and the fact that people could even figure out how to use a computer was impressive.
Wait, where was this?
The Boondocks.
That Sneaky. The Boondocks could be many places in America.
Hello, Carrot. Welcome back. He knew who they were because of the religion of the Hyugas involved worship of dead main house Hyugas, and most notably a figure called Sasuke Hyuga, who had supposedly founded the clan. In fact, this room looked vaguely similar to the shrine located in the basement of the Hyuga mansion, though this one had a much darker theme. Wow, he hadn't thought those statues could be more depressing, but here was the proof. I'm not even sure where is this story supposed to be going. He sat up. A voice cleared its throat behind him. Neji whirled and nearly fell off the slab. His evil uncle, Hiyashi?
Which one? Hiyashi.
Hiyashi.
Okay.
It's Hiyashi. You had it right the first time, actually.
Was
Well, no, you had it right the
standing
second
No, wait.
time.
Wait, I think you said Hirashi.
I said
Yeah, no, the
Hiyashi.
second time he was right.
With a dagger. It appeared to be a very sharp dagger, and Hiyashi was hefting it thoughtfully in front of his face, as if contemplating how it might best be used. And he was nodding thoughtfully to himself at odd intervals. Hiyashi-sama, what are you doing with that knife? At this point, Neji was inching away from his obviously crazed relative. He contemplated activating his Byakugan in order to simultaneously search for the exit and to keep an eye on Hiyashi, but that would involve giving away the fact that he was nervous and a bit frightened of the man with the knife a short distance from his face. A man who happened to have 20 years of experience in the fighting style Neji was best at, and who could probably swat him down like a fly if he tried to use the gentle fist. Not to mention the cursed seal Neji had on his forehead. Yes, let's not anger the unbalanced leader of the Hyuga, shall we? I do see what he means by very out-of-character Neji.
And Hiyashi,
I would say
apparently.
literally none of this was Neji.
This fic was a wild ride. I'll take your word for it.
Guys, I'm pretty sure that's Michael Myers.
I might be. Oh wow! Oh wow! The Indian finally decides to show up. Speaking of people that are rarely here, where the fuck is Arn? He's been missing. Well, he just went to bed. Because, you know, the pussy Norwegian. Neji? Alright, you woke up. So Neji, how would you like to plumb the depths of your mind for the remnants of your dead father? Doesn't that sound like fun? What?
Guys, this is Michael Myers crossbreed with Joker.
Apparently.
There is a curse mark, there is a knife, there is a deranged psycho, and there is plundering the minds of children for the remnants of their relatives. This is Michael Myers crossbreed with Joker.
I suppose so. It was now obvious. Hiyashi wasn't mildly unbalanced as Neji originally hoped. He had gone fully around the bend. Was playing with less than half a full deck and had lost the majority of his marbles. Neji had given up the game of subtlety.
Oh boy, I love mixing my goddamn metaphors, you piece of shit.
But that wasn't mixing metaphors. He was just saying them all.
Apparently, he got a whole list and decided to cram them in as much as possible because he had a big list.
Exactly.
He need to just wind it out.
Gotta pump that word count, you know?
What word count? What count? 6 chapters, 8,000 words. This is not a word count. Each my snip is bigger than this word count. Where's the word count?
I have to say, I love it that you call your 10K chapters snippets.
Honestly, I adopted that part after I read Worm. One chapters is the first number of the snippet is the second one, so you see how big my chapters are.
Yeah, I do. Anyway. Glancing around for an exit and stood, activating his Byakugan to desperately search for a way out of the room. Unfortunately, Hiyashi had seen this and reacted exactly as Neji had wanted him to, by slowly bringing his hand into the shape required for the activation of the curse seal. Neji stopped moving. Hiyashi nodded approvingly and brought his hand down. He patted the slab in front of him encouragingly, and Neji moved to sit back on it, hesitantly. I love adverbs. Now that Hiyashi had been appeased and was satisfied by the adverb count that his audience would stay in place for the moment, he moved to exposit. Now, Neji,
my God. No, this is awesome. This is so bad that it basically traveled around the world like Captain Falcon Boomerang and basically became awesome.
Yeah, we're on just full on crack fic.
Yeah, this is just absolute crack. Now, Neji, I know what you're thinking. Your father's dead and he can't be in you. I mean, we're not in the South. Well, actually, he neglected to mention something rather important about the circumstances of your birth, nephew. Neji, you don't have a mother.
Yeah, that's biologically impossible, though.
No, she is not as dead as you thought.
Okay, that kind of dead. Okay.
Actually, Neji, you're a clone of your father.
When did we become Final Fantasy VII?
This is great.
Ever wonder why you look like your father? Well, there's your answer. Sorry we didn't mention this before, but you know how it is. You forget unimportant little details over time.
Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a really great way to introduce to someone like, oh, by the way, you're a clone. Sorry, we forgot.
I mean, isn't that kind of what they did at the end of Final Fantasy 15? They just went like, yeah, so this dude that's been with you all the time, he's been like what's basically the Stormtrooper variant of Final Fantasy mooks.
Yeah, I know.
And he's amazing, and no one better shit talk him.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's a good boy.
He's a nice boy.
Guys, if at some point later on they will say that Neji was cloned from his father's appendix, then this story officially became Pluto Nash 2.0, but without Eddie Murphy.
I mean, it's probably going to use that. We're getting to that. I'm a what? And how the hell is that related to looking in my mind for my father? You're not making any sense at all. Neji was not going to let his crazy uncle disturb his mental worldview with anything. Not even with the fact that his father had sacrificed his life for his brother, had a disturbing long-standing hatred of the main house. This was nothing in comparison to that. Well, you see, at various points in my life, after you beat up Hinata on her first day at the academy, after you beat up Hinata, when I forgot to have someone to pick her up from the academy, that one, no, those are a couple times, actually. After you beat up Hinata in the Chunin exams, I have woken up from my dreams with your father's Slito standing over my bed. Slito? I never really got quite how to pronounce that.
What?
Talk about silhouette?
Silhouette, there we go.
You didn't know how to...
So wait, how did you pronounce it before?
No thing.
You
I
didn't say it.
decided that since you look
You
alike,
ruined it.
you have the same genes and hairstyles, you might as well channel your father while sleepwalking in order to tell me how proud he is that you grew up to bully your cousin. So why don't we take like a look inside your head just to check? Fucking what? That makes no sense whatsoever. You're hallucinating because you're batshit insane. Ha! You're wrong! My psychiatrist told me that Hanabi-chan was a figment of my imagination and she's perfectly real. You've seen her around, haven't you? That proves I'm not insane. Neji was sure that the only thing that proved was that Hiyashi's psychiatrist was extremely unobservant, but he kept his mouth shut. He saw Hiyashi's fingers twitching into a familiar shape and decided that silence was a better part of valor. He knew what his place was right now, and that was to be silently stunned and occasionally surprise the audience. But now he'd practically memorized the way out of the room, and the only way out was through Hiyashi, and Hiyashi didn't look to be moving anytime soon. You see, the Hyuga have an ancient power, just down through the generations. Yes, I know, it's called the Byakugan. We both have it, yes. Don't interrupt me, nephew, and no, I'm not talking about the Byakugan. What I'm talking about is the rare power that only appears in main house family members. It is the power over life itself.
Thunder power!
And I shall use it to delve into your psyche and retrieve the pieces of my beloved brother residing in your mind, and we shall finally be reunited.
Why am I reading a Kingdom Hearts story?
Because it's
That's what this is.
Sneaky found it. That's all I got.
No, actually, Zex gave this to me.
You the force, Neji. This cannot get any more twisted.
By the way, I've
You the
always been
fourth
kind of
Neji.
bothered by how the branch and main families work in the
Oh, yeah?
Hyuga family.
Yeah?
Well, Neji is directly related to Hiyashi, yet he's in the branch family. But we know
Because
that they're blood brothers. So technically, Neji should have also inherited this power.
Yes. Except fuck
So-
you.
So, what actual wizardry do the Hyugas have? Not even this, but just
Actual
in canon, 'cause,
wizardry.
like, what is the actual
Actual
wizardry
wizardry.
involved where they could actually just say, all right, so you're part of the branch family now, and we're cutting off all genetic things that main
Actual
families used
wizardry.
to have?
That's the
To be
actual
honest,
wizardry
to be
they have.
honest, there is probably one of these chakra transmigration thingies will be an explanation where it only passes on the first child that was born.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, boy.
With this ominous speech, Hiyashi began a series of strange poses. Apparently we're in JoJo now. Neji supposed
Yes.
that when done by an
Woohoo.
attractive, well-endowed woman, the poses might have looked attractive. How unfortunately, Hiyashi was a middle-aged man in a white bathrobe. The resulting magical girl transformation was not a pretty sight. And because Neji's Byakugan had never been deactivated, Neji caught every brain-breaking moment of it. And Hiyashi was now dressed in a extremely short black sailor suit. No, not the naval kind. No, this sailor suit was pretty much a copy of Sailor Moon's outfit. Not that Neji watched anime or anything of the sort, of course. He's just seen a few snatches of it while Hinata watched it. Yes, that was a good excuse. Anyways, in
Wait, there's
front of
anime in
Neji
Naruto?
was his cross-dressing uncle, who had a petite yet menacing black heart-tipped wand pointed at Neji. Darkness spiraled from the wand, and Neji's vision blanked out.
This is one awesome drug trip.
You're the wizard, Dimitri.
Yeah, I would like to know what the fuck these guys are on.
So, that was the first chapter, and I think I speak for everyone when I say, fuck the rest of this story.
Yep, I'm fucking done.
I possess
Looks
morbid
like-
curiosity, but that's about it.
I think this is written by Reese. In some
I mean,
way.
it's- We've seen far worse first chapters for something.
Let's see, a bad choice, Wormfic.
I mean, it's in the title, Sneaky.
I know, that's why I think it's a great choice.
Oh
So,
no.
a bad choice. I filled out a CYOA out of boredom. I never expected a random omnipotent being to take that as an invitation to drop me on into it. Oh, wow. It's like every CYOA never starts like this. So
What is
original.
CYOA?
Choose your own adventure. The worm section
Oh,
has more or
no.
less bastardized it to become a just make
Wait,
your OP character.
isn't that not allowed on FF?
No, it is allowed on FF because it's not a choose your own adventure. So, like I said, the worm section
Yeah.
has bastardized the concept of choose your own adventure in that there is a
Oh.
worm choose your own adventure D&D
Template.
sheet basically template
Yeah.
where you're like, I
It's-
choose this power, it gives me negative points,
It's
and you have to have
yeah,
0
well,
points by
Sneaky.
the
It's
end.
basically just a writing challenge,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
but
it's
they
a
don't
really
want to call it a writing
Well,
challenge
see, the
because
problem though is writing challenges typically provoke the ability to write. No CYOA, to my knowledge at this time, has actually been able to get to the Leviathan chapter.
ooh, yeah.
Leviathan.
In fact, the majority of CYOAs stop at around 30k words at best. Because they go, oh wow, my OP character just completely breaks this entire concept. It's
That's the
almost
issue, like-
like I don't know what to write anymore.
Exactly. It's like people write overpowered stories without understanding how to use an overpowered character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Zarlin's got some experience writing OP characters with interesting storylines.
Like the entire point is like you have to create conflicts for like an overpowered character, but it can't be like bullshit. Oh, now you have an extra power because this guy is really powerful.
Now you have to fight
Everything.
Eisen after his soul was consumed by Voldemort.
Guys, there is a very simple formula how to write a good OP fic. First of
Yo,
all,
come-
you need to take the concept of the whole idiotic saying of if you give Harry Potter the lightsaber, you need to give Voldemort a Death Star,
Oh, yeah,
and
please,
punch it
Voldemort.
to the face repeatedly until its face resembles a burger, because this is the most retarded and most traumatized way how to screw your fic over, because it's stupid. People try to escalate the villains until it becomes
You
stupid.
can't have escalating odds forever. Dragon Ball Z tried that and they gave up after 3 seasons.
Yeah. Oh, also, Dale, want to read a very interesting way of bad self-insert. The
Yeah. Oh, by
truly
the way,
masterpiece.
The Dragon Ball example, it escalated because he kept trying to have a ceiling so they'd quit bothering him to make them more money. Unfortunately, they kept bothering him for more money, and finally he said, "Fuck it, literal
Why can't
gods.
people
Cool, keep making more. God damn it." I think he gave up.
he could have just done llama with heads concept, and that's all. Sneaky, want to see the worst self-insert concept ever?
Do I want to? Not particularly, but sure, link it.
I mean,
I would like to point out how gratifying it is to get guests on the show who haven't heard us rant and have backed up our rants independently.
Guys, this is I'm roasting this thing on the space battles. Sneaky, I don't know. I think I linked it in Discord.
Oh no.
Writer with
What are you
bad
talking about?
grammar.
Oh,
Yeah, this guy's a spiritual follower of Perfect Lionheart.
Yes, no, we covered
Who's
him
Perfect
before. Not
Lionheart?
this story, but we've covered him before because we're like, well, what do you mean writer with bad grammar? How bad can your grammar really be? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that bad.
Wait,
Guys,
hang on. We haven't covered this guy.
Yeah, we have.
See, I'm not gonna be knocking overpowered
Like-
stories because I love to read them as a guilty pleasure. I write fucking overpowered stories, but there's like a method of making it interesting, and that's
But the key
don't
part
make
of writing
the
a good
conflicts of
overpowered.
like physical.
Yeah,
There's other
exactly.
ways
That's what
to
I'm
have
saying. The
conflict.
key parts of writing a good overpowered story is not have physical conflict be the key method of conflict in the story. Like, sure, you can have your awesome fight scenes where your OP character does some cool shit and everyone's like, yeah, this is awesome. But I mean, your main focus is going to be like fucking relationships or dealing with some philosophy or some shit.
Yeah, like it's fine to have an overpowered character, but if they're the main, if the overpowered character is the main focus, well,
It
you
ain't
got to
gonna
get
work.
creative
Yeah.
because they kill everything in one shot. One Punch Man is a great example. It's not focused on his fights, although the
Focus on
budget,
everything else.
the budget that went into the fights are just
The
bonuses.
fights are
Exactly, like-
amazing. Yeah.
The focus is the
See, you
relationships that
don't
he has
give
and his
them the
interaction
fights
with the
all
world.
the time.
Yeah.
Because
Well, they're
otherwise,
also
nothing else is interesting.
well,
One Punch Man, as you said, does it really well in that every single time a villain pops up in One Punch Man, the audience gets excited like, oh, I can't wait for him to show up. Because you
We're
start to really,
clapping
like,
for the raffle stop.
well, I mean, yes, but it's also
Yeah.
like you can't wait to see the reaction of everyone else to One Punch Man.
Exactly, that's the big
Yeah.
thing, right? That's what
and
gets
there are
them.
even moments where legit I feel that Genos is the actual main character and Saitama's
He
supposed to be the
is.
supporting character.
Saitama's a comic relief as much as he is the
Like-
fundamental main character.
Yeah, like it's the characters around him that really make that show. If it was just Saitama by himself, it would get boring
Oh,
very
I saw
quickly.
a massively cringy megacross of D times the One Punch Man Naruto.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
What?
I forget the name of the story, but basically the story's plot is that Naruto ends up in the D times D verse, but he lost the ability to use chakra. So,
Oh, you're talking about to punch the limit.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
Punch the Limit.
Yeah, and it was just like,
Oh god, why do
It's-
3 of you know what that is? Sorry, 4 of you. Why do 4 of you know what that is?
Quite popular, now, right, for that segment. So
it's a
I know
very
because-
popular film.
Guys, I know the only reason I actually know the story was because I was searching for One Punch Man crossover. I really wanted to find one with, oh my god, with Konosuba, because I was
Oh.
really interested in that
Oh
one.
yeah, that would be.
But
that
nobody
would
wrote
actually
it.
be interesting. Yeah.
Sneaky, write it.
No, fucking G.
Completely
I-
fuck all the.
I
stories
would
you write.
rather gouge my eyes out with a rusty spoon than experience Konosuba.
Konosuba's
Konosuba is like the-
fantastic,
it's
though.
good.
Yes, but
Honestly,
it gives me PTSD flashbacks to Dota games.
Well, that is-
Like, this is good. Konosuba's clearly one of the animes I'm gonna have to sit down and watch with you for you to get through it.
I don't understand why you hate the idea of it so much.
No, he doesn't hate the idea, but the problem is he relates far too much to Kazuma in his circumstances.
It's just like, why is my entire team so apparently competently incompetent?
So what I'm hearing is, we need
No,
to
like,
just, as a group, sit down and
The
watch it.
person that confuses me the most, though, is Atin. Like, he'll sometimes make the most amazing plays at the worst times.
I know this! I am keenly aware!
Like, he will get a 4-man, like, axe jump call. But that's it. He'll get it when nobody's around.
Yeah, Sneaky's talented like that. Like I said, it's because of Sneaky I've gotten so good at supports in games, I think. Because I had to learn how to play around Sneaky.
Like, I've always been thinking, like, how do I play with Sneaky? And I'm like, oh, I'll have to play support all the time. No, fuck that. I'm just going back to bots.
Well,
There's a reason
It's-
I left playing ranked.
I
my
play
point out.
support now.
Oh, no. Why would you do that to yourself?
you're the last person that should play support in any kind of game.
No, luckily, there is a role in Dota for people who don't actually play supports. They just are an asshole who harasses.
Hey, position 4.
Anyway.
How's
Oh
this Sneaky
god,
gonna be a decent
I
alternate?
really should have picked something that made me far harder to kill. To make matters worse, I wasn't just dropped in. Oh no! Now I have the goddamn Nazis chasing me for my powers. Yes,
Oh,
it
yes,
is,
I keep
guys.
forgetting.
It's another CYOA I'm writing. No, I don't care that I'm making so many. It's so much fun. Anyway, this time there's no servants from Fate Stay Night involved, and technically he's not as
I love when
overpowered.
people do that. They fucking just throw people from Fate Stay Night into anything ever.
Okay, now there is some things that are immensely amusing to watch Fate Stay Night get dropped into, like Campione, D times D.
See, the only thing I want to see from Campione, the fucking Campione Shin Megami Tensei 3 crossover, because I want to see the fucking Demi Fiend as a god killer is going like, there are others like me?
Mm.
Then again,
I
that's
mean,
such a...
The Fate universe is a perfect crossover thing because it's summon
Literally a crossover.
famous figures.
It's literally
I'm
a
glad
crossover.
the chat is with me on my opinion of Konosuba.
But it
It's an eyes deal, man.
Sneaky,
no,
Yes.
I don't.
you saw my crossover between Fate and Campion, and now think twice about how easy it is to write in.
Oh no, I didn't say it was easy. I just said it's really enjoyable.
You don't understand that between each snip, I need to spend about 5 days of pure research to make everything click together.
Yeah,
Because
that
this
sounds like Dark
fucking-
Souls.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
think
Dark Souls in a nutshell.
That checks out.
listen. Try writing for Overlord. The entire system for that is just a mixture of every MMO ever, plus a little bit of D&D. It's lovely. I have written one.
God, I
chapter
hate
now
it
14
sometimes.
times.
Oh god, the Overlord section for the anime is that is awful.
I have just begun. I've written one chapter for my story, and I'm just like,
The fan fiction is just it's 99.99% trash. It is so painful.
well, true, I guess.
But,
all the creative juice left. The only thing that is left behind is a yaoi fix or Wong fix. Pity.
yeah,
Anybody who could write worth a damn is now writing for money.
more or less.
So,
Ahem.
More or less. Hey,
anybody who also couldn't write for a damn is writing smart for money.
For some reason, I'm keep looking at an essence of silver and steel and feeling like we're missing something.
Yeah, it's Essence of Silver and Steel. Jesus Christ.
I can rant about an hour how horrible the concept is, because honestly, it's either... Oh, for fuck's sake, my antivirus is fighting with my browser. Because honestly, I'm not sure what the fuck the author is doing, but the way he's computing the powers of a servant against a shard is honestly making me cringe. Honestly,
it is painful.
Well, he took the install system from Prisma Ilia, bastardized it, tried to stick in a worm, and completely forgot that some of those servants actually literally break the world.
Well, no, not only that. So someone pointed out that the servants would be a lot stronger than some of the heroes here. And he goes completely straight-faced. She isn't summoning servants to install, she's installing the heroic spirit directly.
and that's where the thought broke.
That's just straight up how Prisma Ilia works. It doesn't summon the servant,
Well,
it just
no.
installs them.
Yeah, I know, but what he's saying is that it's not using the servant container.
Download
So it's not like she's getting the archer variant of Hercules, she's just getting flat out full Hercules.
Oh, that's bullshit.
That's even more broken.
But it gets better because he's just completely disregarded almost every single canonical hero. And it's just like, I'm gonna make up heroic spirits for her to use, and I'm gonna make her lose with them.
I mean, honestly, you could do that, but why?
Yeah, no, I did notice that there were a couple where it's like, I checked through the Fate Grand Order list, like, oh, these don't even show up at all.
Oh yeah, FGO is the thing. I keep forgetting.
Oh yeah, Fate Go has some great things. Napoleon's a cool looking dude with a cannon.
But yeah, no, oh god, it is painful. It's painful dealing with people that like his stuff too, because I got into a massive argument with one person that Zarlin was there for that. Where they were like, no, JDF is totally, like, timid and stuff, and he's really concerned about the quality of his writing. I'm like, dude, he literally told me to fuck off when I gave him constructive criticism. And I'm not talking about the shit I normally do. I'm talking about the shit that Max has seen like rarely from me, where I give a giant fucking list of what they need to fix and how to fix
does
it.
this. He goes into benevolence mode. I've seen like twice in total.
And like I actually like gave him a full list of shit that could help him and shit like that. He's like, "Fuck off! Don't tell me to write my story." And so whenever someone tries to defend him, I'm just like, literally eat shit, because I tried to help this guy and he just told me to fuck off because he knows better than me. And now he's bitching that people aren't paying him anymore to continue writing his stories.
Hey, can't we put these guys through IRS audit as well?
No, they're automatically taxed.
I mean,
Patreon.
Sure, but we can create problems for them.
No, you would end up creating more problems for yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Falsifying or maliciously.
So all the Twitch thoughts, sorry, not Twitch thoughts, I mean the cam thoughts are basically safe right now.
More or less, the whole thought audit thing is going to amount to a bunch of nothing, unless these people that believe they're getting audited do something enormously stupid, like try to withdraw all their money and like move or some shit, because that will get their attention. But otherwise, pretty much, if it's going through PayPal, they're being taxed automatically. And as long as they make sure to pay the taxes when they get it in the mail, which pretty much all of them do, actually, they're fine.
I would say, like most of them are not as dumb as people think.
I mean, yeah, they're basically exploiting incels for money, so they do get that, right?
I mean, I don't think they're exploiting. I think they're paying for a service that someone's buying. Whether you think that service is worth money is a completely different story.
True that.
And yes, Isley, I did in fact used to like Silver and Steel until he just went completely.
Did you just say you used to like children? I was like, what the fuck?
What? No, Silver and Steel.
What?
That's
what I heard. I was like, holy shit, what the shit? Am I on the wrong podcast?
Yes, you're on the wrong podcast.
Like in alternate universe, sneaky.
But yeah, I used to like that story, and then he just went off the rails, and I tried helping him. He told me to fuck off, so I was like, all right, bye. Anyway, enough about how shit's the essence of Silver and Steel is. Let's get back to this shit story. When I went to bed after staying up way too late, working on my new story idea, generic opening.jpg, I was expecting to wake up the next morning to the sound of my phone greeting me for another day at work. Instead, I woken up by early morning light landing on my face. In fact, that my soft bed seemed to have turned into solid wood. What's going on? I slurred as I opened my eyes, quickly throwing up my hand to stop the sunlight from burning my eyes out. It took a moment.
Oh, look at me. I can write, I can use some fancy words. I think I'm a good writer.
Oh,
big words doesn't mean big feelings.
Yeah, I used to like Dyslexic as well. He was actually a decent writer as well. Huh?
It can write some big words, hence it is good author.
Oh yes, the purple prose. It is softening my heart.
Mr. PP.
I took a moment to realize what was wrong with the image. My curtains were thick, and I always closed them before I went to bed, so there was no way that sunlight should be getting into my room. Slowly, I lowered my hand and looked around the room, taking in the grimy walls that were covered in dark red stains, shattered furniture, and the floor that had rotten remains of a carpet that looked like it had been clawed to pieces, by claws that were strong enough to damage the hardwood floor. So, dog claws? Like, it doesn't take much to scratch up a hardwood floor.
I have no idea what's going on.
You can do it with cleats, not even like metal cleats. The kind that just have little plastic nubs.
The hell?
But no, dyslexic is more like becoming the next Sakura demon alchemist. Which, by the way, is a very depressing author to read stories from. Not because her stories are bad. Sakura Demon Alchemist's stories are actually fairly good. It's just that she'll never get farther than 2 chapters on them. Because
Hey,
she
look, it's
has
me.
327.
Stories?
Yes. She writes
No.
about 2 chapters for every story and then moves on. My favorite example of purple prose is he coughed up his red metallic tasting life support fluid.
What?
I feel like I'm being pranked, but at the same time, I feel like it's entirely possible that someone actually had the idea to write that. Anyway, what the hell? I started before I suddenly realized my voice sounded odd. I looked down and found that my voice wasn't the only thing I changed. I had boobs now. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Christ.
Of course.
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I just invented that. Instead
Okay,
of my
but the
thin...
fact that we all thought it was true...
Yes.
Is enough. Should tell us enough.
I had nothing but the pants. Instead of my thin body, in nothing but the pants I went to sleep in. I found myself
Who
looking
sleeps
at
in pants?
I don't know, actually. I
Who
found
sleeps in
myself
anything?
looking at a slightly chunky and less mature body in pale blue PJs.
Still
As I
chunky.
did, a few locks of blonde hair fell in front of my deep sapphire blue eyes as I blinked and as I realized that my hair was longer than it had been. That's interesting, I muttered as I examined my new hand, absently running a finger over where I had a small scar on the back of my left one. What the hell is going on? A loud crunch from outside made me jump and look up, just in time to see a twisted monstrosity that I could only refer to as a troll stump past the window. Oh, he fucked up. It's supposed to be stomp past the window. Instead, we have a mutant tree troll that's been cut
I
down.
see.
I have you know
I
I
see
sleep in
some
pants.
pants.
Only pants, Isley? Let's see. I quickly scrambled to my feet and darted to the window, peeking out and down the street below. Just one glance made me realize I might be in trouble. The town I was in a complete wreck. Not a single house intact, although plenty of them seemed to have been patched up with wood and colorful bits of cloth and were inhabited by all manner of bizarre creatures that looked like something straight out of a fairy tale for little kids. If said fairy tale involved orgies, debauchery, and horrific table manners, as the goblins gorged themselves on all manner of excess. I gaped for a moment before quickly pulling my head back before any of them could see me. I sat out of the window for a moment, eyes wide, as I tried to figure out what the actual fuck was going on, before I suddenly remembered just what I had been working on the night before. Fuck, I've been robbed! I yelled.
Okay, no,
thinking.
hold on. Look at how they spelled robbed.
Yes, a
Yeah,
random
go back.
omnipotent being. The point. It's a play on words.
Oh.
I immediately clapped both hands over my mouth as I slowly died due to extreme lung damage. But it was apparent I was too late as the sounds filtering in from down below cut out. A moment later, they were replaced with chattering and the sounds of a number of footsteps moving towards the building I was in. Oh, bollocks! I said with a British accent randomly. This is going to suck. I really hope I can figure out how to intruder! I spun around just in time to see what looked like an unholy fusion of a human and lizard pounce at me from the door. I yelped and instinctively flung my arm out. In
Oh,
response,
good.
the
A
wall
fucking
behind
South
me
Park
exploded
show.
and squished the goblin between the opposite wall and half of the one behind me. I gaped for a moment before realized that my head was full of knowledge of how to bend the elements to my will. All of them. I wasn't an avatar since I lacked any connection to a spirit, but apparently the random omnipotent being didn't give a shit about canon rules. I couldn't do anything too impressive without practice, but I could grasp the basics of all four.
What the fuck?
I concur.
However, my bending abilities would only get me so far in this situation. You can literally make rocks fly. You can literally hop on a rock and fly away. Why that's allowed, who knows? But you could. I couldn't face an entire army of goblins.
Yes, you can.
Sounds like you should have been watching more Goblin Slayer. Armed with only the basics, especially since I had no idea if Nilbog had created anything that could get stronger from water, earth, or wind. Have you tried heart?
Shoot yourself.
I'll see myself out.
Good.
Shoot yourself.
That means the stream's over and I can go eat.
Nah. It must carry on. Max, you must take up the mantle.
Max, change the stream to.
I think Max just left. Considering it looked like my powers came from the last CYOA I filled out, I quickly cast my mind back to try and remember what I had access to. Bending was obvious, but there was also paper bending, explosive slash, and fairy dragon physiology.
Fairy dragon?
Excuse Nani the fuck.
Yeah.
Fairy dragon from where?
I
Or
don't
the-
know.
Is it like Puck? Is it like Puck from like Dota? Or Puck?
I don't know.
The
The
Puck is a
last
fairy
one
dragon.
would probably be the best option considering what I had been capable of if I figure out how to use it. I also had access to Harry Potter magic. Hold on.
What? How
Flashback.
stupidly
Flashback time.
overpowered is this character? Like, congratulations,
Don't worry,
no
guys.
problem will ever be a problem.
Don't worry, guys. He's not as OP as some of the CYOAs I created. Not as OP. Harry
Hey,
Potter
this
magic.
one is just a Dragon Ball
Fairy
Z.
Tail Dragon, and bending. Yes, not as OP.
And Harry Potter magic.
I already said Harry Potter.
I
Oh,
know,
bending,
but
of course.
it's worth mentioning again because of how fast and loose that thing plays with its own
Oh
rules.
boy, are you guys ready for the author to attempt humor?
No, I
No.
don't think I ever will be.
Oh, it's too late because it's happening.
God damn it.
Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Squash the goblin I got in my bending feat.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, he killed Kenny! Screamed the leader.
Oh, fuck.
Screamed
Of course.
the
That's how
leader
fucking
of the
faces.
goblins that were hunting me, a short thing with slim-looking skin and big ears, armed with a very large wrench and sharp claws that seemed to be dripping acid. You bastard! Screamed another, smelling smaller, nasty, with horns were comically larger on its small frame. Despite the fact that I was about to be killed by Madman's creations, I couldn't help but giving the twisted monstrosities the nature of a flat look. Really? Take him to the king, screamed the leader, ignoring my exasperation. Eep! I yelped and flung my arms out. In response, the ring I hadn't noticed on my left hand glowed and made the room expand in ways that made my head hurt.
Oh, he's got Vista's powers as well. Well done.
I forgot about my Vista ring that grants me Vista powers.
Just Just make your character One Punch Man while you're at it. Just please do
Jesus
it.
Christ. This is why I hate the CYOAs, because it's
He can
so
also
easy.
fire a Hadouken.
It's so easy to make an overpowered character, and it's just like, where are we supposed to get the enjoyment from here? It's like,
Because
oh,
you try
wow.
making a character that can die?
Well, no, it's like every single time I see these sort of power fantasies, it's like power fantasies are sometimes good. Like Noodlehammer's stuff is highly amusing. Despite its questionable content at times, it's still fairly amusing. But then you get shit like this sort of power fantasy where it's just like, hey guys, this is a daydream I had once. And it's like, cool, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your daydream.
I was a Jedi Harry Potter boy.
And I had lightning
And I
powers
killed
coming from my
Sasuke.
feet.
And I killed Sasuke Uchiha.
Yeah, exactly. It's just blah blah
Like
blah
Mr.
blah
Rangan.
blah. It was a recolored version of the Gaunt Ring from Harry Potter. Blah 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 blah. I ran away, delving into my dragon physiology. I hope this worked, or I was about to break my legs. Ah! I yelped as I felt a surge of energy erupt from deep inside me, rippling through my body in the form of a bright azure light. I felt my body shift, lengthening and twisting as my legs fused together. My neck and face lengthened, and a pair of wings shot from my back. It didn't hurt.
Of course it
In
did.
fact, it felt good, if a little odd. The change took less than a second, and the glow vanished, and just in time for me to spread my wings and stop my fall, inches from slamming into the ground.
I see.
There is so much wrong with what you just read that I'm not sure I can even comprehend it.
I'm not even sure what
Don't
at
try,
this
don't
point
try,
this is
don't
supposed
try.
to be a reference to.
Everything.
Phew, that was close, I muttered, absently noting my voice now carried a musical quality to it. Anyway, so blah blah blah, he's blue and he's hairy and he looks like a naga with wings, and instead of legs, it was green tendrils that glowed. And my upper body was humanoid with long arms and insect wings. What part of this is a fairy dragon? My face now had a muzzle with sharp teeth, and I had long ears and a large mane of hair down my neck. What the fuck is this? It's Slardar, but he has tentacles for legs, Nyx wings, and yeah, what?
Just don't think about it.
Is she Manson Limited? Doubt it. Yeah. Anyway, so he's flying away, and then he uses pixie dust to fly away, and blah blah blah. And my form shimmered and split apart, and now I have a bunch of copies of me flying away as I turned invisible on the visible spectrums and shrunk down to 6 inches big. What? What the fuck?
Let's just pretend nothing happened. Just
Alright,
fly.
So
Like
then
to
the
do.
author switches point of view to the PRT troopers watching all of this. And he's trying for another comedy scene between Agent Lee and Agent Smith. And the comedy routine fails, and blah blah blah, blah blah, and the tiny pixie dragon is literally torching the entirety of Ellisburg. And
I
blah
see.
blah blah, it's eating things, and blah blah blah. He's tearing things apart, and he uses his laser breath to kill another creature. And then the dragon's changing again, and now it's panting like a dog and bleeding. And then it disappeared. Oh, and then it turned into a 15-year-old blonde boy in dirty pajamas. And he says, if you're going to arrest me, Make it quick. I really need to. I passed out. I hate goblins. I still have no idea how I got spotted on my way out, despite being invisible and the size of a small kitten. I had nearly been eaten before I managed to grow back to full size, and blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. This poor dialogue. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Have you concluded I'm not a creation of Nilbog? Yes, we have figured out you are not a creation of Nilbog. How did you get into Ellisburg? No idea. Okay, well we can let you go now.
What?
What is my name? Oh, we have your name right here. Your name is Theodore Anders, resident of Brockton Bay, who vanished in early hours of April 8th. Oh, April 8th, so 3 days before the lung fight. Neat. Reported missing by his stepmother, Caden Anders, who he is apparently living with.
I see.
Oh no, this is terrible. Amnesia or not, I doubt that Keezer would jump at the chance to get me in the E88 and would likely do anything up to and include threatening Caden and Aster to do it. I gotta keep them safe, and
I'll be
preferably
back.
a way to stay
I won't.
incognito. My mental encyclopedia of Harry Potter magic wasn't anywhere close to comprehensive or massive as the one I had for my bending, but blah 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 spells. I can cast the Fidelis so I can make everything disappear. And blah blah blah. I should meditate later so I can figure out how to make a wand. Blah blah blah. Why am I chained up? You are an unknown cape with strong powers. It's a strong practice to chain them up in a cell. That sounds like a really dumb idea.
I'm pretty sure everything there is dumb idea.
Hey guys, I know we just found this cape that just like blew the shit out of Ellisburg. So he just passed out in front of us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock him up in a cell and then put chains all over him. Because that, I am sure, will not make him angry and or annihilate us.
Cool. So I missed most of this chapter because my internet took shit. So
So basically, what you've missed so far is the author is a creative bankrupt hack who is self-inserting himself into the Wormverse with Harry Potter magic, Avatar: The Last Airbender all bending skills, Vista's powers, and he can turn into some sort of demonic eldritch creature.
uh-huh.
And the author claims this is not as OP as some of the stuff I make.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Also, you missed some really shitty humor.
I see.
Blah blah blah. I went to Wikipedia to look for the big words. Blah 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 blah. Are you sure he's not mastered? Fuck you. We have no baseline. Blah blah blah. They're looking at me. Blah blah blah. I have occlumency barriers now. Woot. Apprentice is fucking awesome. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. Miss Malicia's eyes crinkled in amusement. It's not a wormfic until Miss Malicia's eyes crinkle in amusement. Can we skip
Is
this
that-
night? Huh?
Wait, is that oh my god, that does show up a lot in Wormfix, doesn't
It
it?
always shows up in wormfics.
Why? Why is that? Why do fandoms just get these weird fucking like essentially verbal tics?
I don't know, man. It's like how freaking Taylor's dad calls her kiddo all the fucking time, even though of all the conversations they had in Worm, he called her kiddo once. And apparently, according to the fandom, That's just like how he communicates with Taylor. Hey, kiddo, 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 kiddo. It's just every single fact. Kiddo, 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 kiddo. Twice. Oh, sorry. Twice. Called her kiddo twice. In the span of 1,000,000 words, the words kiddo were used twice.
Well, considering how little conversation that they actually had within those 1.6 million words.
Yeah, that's true enough.
Yeah.
Like, Miss Malicia's face is pretty much always covered. What else can they use for her expressions? I mean, but
Yeah,
it's
there
just
is the
so
scarf.
yes. But the thing is, it's like it's so used at this point. It's a little bit cringy. Like even if it's appropriate, it's still a little bit cringy. It's like, "Hey, kiddo,"
Okay.
Miss Malicia's eyes crinkled in amusement, and then Sophia says threatening words.
I mean, this sounds more like a you problem than
It
anything
is.
else.
No, this is the personal gripe podcast. She's like the Kakashi of Naruto. What the fuck can they do?
I guess technically, but I'm not gonna lie, this world would have been way more interesting if she was more like Kakashi.
That would be something. That would be something.
You know, I just read that part, the whole conversation between our master, the officer who apparently walking into his puppet, and something that resembles Miss Melita, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm pretty sure I just saw a new star being born and instantly collapse into a black hole. Because it sucks.
Anyway, so blah blah blah. We're on a dragon transport. Why?
Oh boy.
Blah blah blah. My wild card powers are also there, giving me ideas of what I could do with them. So he's Eidolon, Avatar, Harry Potter, Vista, and Eldritch Abomination.
Man, some people get all the luck.
Also, he can fold paper really well. Oh, he's Conan from Naruto.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Also, I would just like to point out that Conan turning herself into paper must have taken a absurdly long time of fusing paper into yourself using chakra. Like, she's entirely made of paper. She's aligned herself with paper so much, Shiro would blush if he could get that close to being a sword.
Yeah, also Atin's gone for the rest of the stream. He's being forced to cook.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Why does everyone keep pinging me? Jesus Christ. I looked down at my Discord and I have like fucking 7 pings.
Because people were trying to inform you of shit.
Error bag client authentication cert. Clear your cache, I suppose, but Space Battles was also down.
I'd just say I don't think we got enough screen time for Conan, Yahiko, and
no, we really
Nagato.
Didn't. We really
like
didn't.
Those 3 were really fucking cool. Why does she turn into paper?
Zex says that Atin can cook popcorn next to his mic and we wouldn't notice anything different.
Guys, I read ahead. I am opening my third eye and I'm making a prediction. he will use an avatar as a spirit instead of Rava.
Wait, who is he using as a spirit?
He doesn't have a spirit, but I'm pretty sure the after will probably use an Endbringer as a spirit by this point. This is so dumb.
Speaking of Endbringers, has everyone else have caught up on How to Train Your Endbringer? Because
Yep, I'm
Magic-
reading each chapter as soon as it gets out.
Yeah, I went ahead
Magical
and caught
Girl
up on the new
Smirchan.
chapter. Fucking. The author's having way too much fun with Simurg.
There is never enough fun you can have with Ziz. Ziz is glorious.
But I'm a little disappointed though when I saw the author's like, I didn't want to complete this. I just want to get to 100k. It's like, well, I should just give up on this story now then, because the author just admitted it's probably gonna die past a certain point.
What? How to
Makes
Train Your
me
Endbringer?
really sad.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It really is just off the rails crack, and I'm not surprised that he's like, I'm eventually gonna run out of shit to do. Anyway, so, blah, 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 blah. My powers are the following. I have Explosive Slash that I could make explosions with by cutting objects. I'm pretty sure that's a reference to something, I don't know. I have skill trees, and I have skill trees that are currently grayed out that I will soon have access to if I try enough. Okay. Blah, spirit bending, and blah blah. Blah, similar spirit, unless entities count. Oh wow. Well, no, he's likely gonna fuse with Thinker. That's what he's gonna fuse with. He's gonna fuse with the spirit of Thinker. Also, now I know a bunch of Asian kung fu moves. Harry Potter magic, and blah 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 blah, 5 years of schooling, blah 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 blah, Voldemort, Fidelis, Unforgivables. I can turn into an animal, occlumency, legitimacy, and wand crafting. Wandless magic was possible, but I didn't access it. Blah 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 blah. As an added bonus, my hair from my dragon form would make a great wand core. Author's note. Hey, you know how I said he wasn't OP? I take it back. He's totally OP. Rank 9 OP. Which basically puts him on a level where he can solo Lung. Speaking of which, I based the fairy dragon on the ancient fairy dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh!
What?
Yu-Gi-Oh! That is... Author, that is not how you described it in the fucking slightest. He described it like it's some sort of eldritch abomination.
Which one are you looking at?
The ancient fairy dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, okay, it's better than the normal fairy dragons that look like a penis with wings.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, this thing is kind of... yeah, it's like a Lascarid.
Oh, the ancient
It's like
fairy
a
dragon.
Lascarid with wings.
I mean,
and
its face isn't the prettiest, but it's not really like an abomination against God. So
Alright, so let's see. We also have Zornland's fic that he linked, and we also have this shitty 1,000 word chapter. So we're going to cover the 1,000 word first and then move on to the one that. I don't even fuck it. Thank you for posting that, Zex. I really appreciate your contributions to the server. Whatever the fuck that was.
what the fuck is this?
Alright, so this is a Payback Warhammer 40k Warhammer Fate Stay Night Cross.
Oh, I bet this is
There was a war so massive that it killed the gods of chaos. The orcs finally calmed down, the necrons deleted themselves, and no one knows what happens to the tyrannids. There is finally peace, and the emperor finally got of his ass.
God of his... What?
I am curious what the reviews say about this story. I liked it. This is great. Your grammar needs help. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. You spelt tyrannids wrong in the summary. However, I wonder how the 40k people will manage to have a place in this story. Because if they are only there to hear what's going on, I guess there is an importance for them. Congratulations, reviewer! You probably going to make as much sense as this story's own stuff. Tyrannids, yes. As massive ears spin in the air, land, and all painted red, resembling Martian soil. Two men and a small girl stand before the incoming hordes of Chaos Daemons, who bear witness to this, began to make peace as they believe that their fates have been sealed, if not for the demons, then by the wished. The planet's defense, capital D, multiple planets, by the way, was unable to defeat the demons, and no help would come. A woman begins to cry as a small boy points to the sky, space, period, space. When she looks up, she sees thousands of objects headed directly towards the demons. A loud explosion as the objects collide with the demons. Hundreds of chains rain down, wrapping themselves around several of the greater demons before they are mysteriously cut from the inside out. As all of this occurred, a Mechanicus adept recorded everything. As the wish, the demons he summoned and the small cult member made their way towards the fallen ship. The long dead cult members, which had perished at the hands of their own abomination. I don't know why that's in. The daemon, with the appearance of a man with red hair, places his hand on the cult ship. One word can be recorded. Face on. Author, that is 2 words. Trace on is 2 words. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he just failed kindergarten. Don't worry about it.
Oh, hey, George. Yeah, welcome to this really shit Warhammer story. Instantaneously, a separate ship appears. All 3 get in and leave. End recording. Wait. He copy and pasted a ship? Naughty the fuck?
I guess technically he could copy paste a ship, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this.
Excuse? I really don't know where,
And it's where we understood Emashiro became a god.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Apparently, at some point, Shiro decided he was a god now, and everyone was just kind of like, "Yeah, you're right, Shiro." A Adeptus Mechanicus. How do you do that? Made his way down an Imperial ship. Its cathedral-like structure inspired awe and dread to those unfamiliar with it. At the end of the long corridor, standing at the ship's bridge, stood no other than the Emperor of Mankind himself. just gazing at him. The adepts could only feel awe. I see you have brought with you.
Brought what?
That's what he says. I see you have brought with you.
I'm pretty sure the Emperor got senile from after standing up from his
I'm
chair.
pretty sure the Emperor has some brain damage. Seeing that the adepts had something to say, the Emperor just smiled. You may ask one question, the Emperor said. Emperor,
Is he
forgive me.
Jesus?
What?
Is he Jesus? Because this is how Jesus behaved in South Park upon the second millennia.
I honestly, I don't know where this interpretation of the Emperor comes from. Emperor, forgive me, but if I were to be so bold, why? The Adeptus said. The Emperor just smiled and said, there was a war fought with Immaterium, the material realm, as well as many others.
Yes, of course. That explains everything.
Yes. We are currently headed to last part of war to place where it all ended, the
What?
Emperor said.
Also, apparently, I've understood what Emperor said in the first time. He was hungry. He was mean to say brought. Like this.
Did you bring the brought with you? Yes. If Lancelot could fly a jet, I suppose Archer could copy and paste a ship. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, no, the tracing doesn't work on the same level as a noble phantasm.
Yeah.
I don't think. Like,
No.
you could argue that tracing is a part of his noble phantasm.
Also, I
Except
absolutely
that's
want
what the
to.
reality marble does.
I want to smack Nasu upside the head because of that whole. Everything that Lancelot uses is his noble phantasm because his legend says that he was always using things.
I'm pretty sure that when he gets alone with his right hand,
I'm sorry.
he became very powerful.
Yes, his
that
right
will
hand.
forever remain my favorite noble phantasm. Though this is yours, this is mine.
No. He's got to keep the pip hand strong.
It's
Oh,
still
God.
the fucking best. His noble phantasm is the ultimate. I want that.
This thing is mine now. Oh, God.
He's basically his noble phantasm is the power of Woodward Cullen from Twilight. This is my beach, not your beach. You can have my daughter later. You can copulate with her.
Oh,
But this
God,
beach
that
is mine.
was so weird. Oh, that was so weird. I have imprinted on your unborn child. I'm sorry, you what? I have soul imprinted on your unborn child. I am now forever obsessed with her and must be by her side always. Also, I'm gonna fuck her when she turns 15. What? Excuse? And again, it was even creepier because Stephanie Meyer tried to call herself out on it, where she had one of the characters be like, "Are you you're romantically interested in my child? No, I am not romantically interested in your child until she is sexually active. I am currently fatherly interested in your child." It's just like, how does that make it better?
No, like, well, I found something that explained it a bit better. I'm like, you didn't have to make this romantic. You could just be like, I imprinted on it. What's that mean? It means that I'm basically her guardian from now until I die.
Yeah.
Or she dies, whichever happens first.
Yeah, it was just like, you could have done
Like,
this so much better. Instead, you went with
no. Here's how it should have gone. What does that mean, Jacob? Well, basically, I'm her godfather. So, you don't have to worry about scaring off the boyfriends. I'll do that for you. It's like shit like that. Like, I'll be the crazy uncle with a shotgun. Except the shotgun's my teeth and claws.
I'll act like her older brother until she is sexually ready to choose me. Excuse?
Okay, this one was far the best.
Anyway.
This is not the worst part.
What?
This is not the worst part. Because I'm pretty sure Jacob will... okay, give me a moment, I'll remember the name of that actor. He was...
Also, I love Stephanie Meyer's logic in the whole pregnancy thing. Go ahead, Zar.
do you remember the actor that was in Home Alone playing one of the robbers? The short one with the balding head?
No.
If you'd asked me like 4 days ago, I might have been able to tell you.
Why? Same actor?
Everyone check IMDb.
Anyway, so as I was saying, it gets
Joe
even
Pesci.
worse. Oh, okay.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the point. You just said Godfather. I instantly remembered.
Ah.
Jacob will turn into Joe Pesci whenever she'll become sexually active.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, yeah. Are you telling me you don't like Yandere Oni-chan? No. No. But as I was saying, it gets even better because Steffi Meyer was like, vampires cannot breed because their cells are frozen. I was just like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Also, a vampire can nut into a woman and a baby is born. Wait, what? I thought you said their whole cells were frozen thing and they don't reproduce because they're all sterile. I was kidding about that until it was time for her to have sex.
It was a prank, bro.
You told me you were sterile. It was a prank, bro. Oh, that's awful. Anyway, I am aware the Adeptus Mechanicus has kept it hidden from the Imperium. So please enlighten me why, the Emperor demanded. Sorry, the Emperor demanded. All of the sudden, Ship Navigator interrupted. We've incoming ships. They appear to be Eldar craft worlds. Eldar craft worlds! Incoming Eldar craft worlds, guys!
Oh.
Tau and something else I cannot identify. Let them. They are heading to where we are headed. The Emperor said. Now where were we? He asked. What the fuck is going on? Have you seen the footage of the first time the SI cult was countered? What? No answer. For those who understand our reasons, it began 2 days after the invasion and destruction of the demons, the adepts said. As you are aware, we have recovered much of the lost technology of the Dark Ages. Our connection to the machine spirits have surpassed anything we could have imagined, he said. When we searched for the remainder of the SI cult on that nameless planet, we expected to kill all of them, he said. However, that was not the case. Those that remained welcomed us with open arms. They held technology both primitive and advanced. I present to you, as requested by the SI cult leader, the Technological Codex. Within it lies technology that we have yet to fully rebuild, as well as a letter they left behind for this day. Emperor, please forgive me, but there seems to be something blocking the warp.
Apparently, it's the less advanced technology.
Blocking the Emperor warping. Bullshit my asshole.
I'm not aware it's actually possible.
I'm sure the author will find a way. Yeah. Hey, Emperor, we have the blueprints to all your tech. Here you go. Yeah, thanks. I knew all this already. Okay. We will need to exit now if we are to continue. I am aware of that. It appears to be one of the powers involved in the war, the Emperor said. Exiting the warp, they are greeted by the remains of thousands of Necron ships, hundreds of unknown ships, far into the distance. All who saw it were horrified and relieved.
You sound somewhat pained, Sneaky.
What the fuck is this paragraph? It's just like, what's pacing, guys? I'm just gonna absolutely butcher this. I was really close to just starting to add Elcor sound effects into that. Great movie.
Sorry, I can't. The last sentence killed me.
The remains of she who thirst floated her head torn in half. Her body floated in the opposite direction, showing billions of battle scars. By the golden throne, a random marine snap. As the Eldar craft world shifted to real space. The moment they exited the warp, they were greeted by the sight of a ship in the form of a skull. Bonnie the fuck? On the opposite side, was a ship the size of a planet, and on the side, the name of it reads the Death Star.
I don't remember that on the blueprints.
Yeah, I don't remember a giant plaque on the Death Star saying, "This is the Death Star."
No. Oh, no, Sneaky. It wouldn't be a plaque. It'd be a giant neon sign.
Attack here. This is the Death Star. You could kill a Chaos God theoretically, but it would have to be in the warp. Killing them in real space would be the same as killing a demon. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god, they're approaching the Halo. Our destination is on the other side of the Stargate. What is even happening in this story? Oh my god! This is the fabled story we were talking about! Oh shit.
Wait. What do you mean the fabled story?
Okay, so a while back, I was joking on one of the servers that I'm on about literally every single, every single crossover to exist possible in terms of names for sci-fi. And it was stupidly long, and it's in here somewhere.
Oh my god. That means that we're literally just waiting for something from Star Trek then.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm searching for the grinding and whirling sound of the TARDIS.
Oh, yeah, that's it, I suppose. Boy, I have a lot
Considering
of
that it's already stole, that I saw that they already stole the Zem of the Tengen Toppa Goren Lagan, but apparently Kamina is nearby. Awaiting coming of Gurren Dawn.
What's nearby?
Did you ever see Gurren Lagann?
Oh, of course I saw Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, what about Gurren Lagann?
Now read the next sentence.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What greeted him was a sight that one would only imagine. There in the emptiness of a space was an ocean made of pure energy, but concentrated enough that it appeared as if it was water. Not too far away, a monument of human achievement, 8 planets stood rotating in perfect alignment. All of a sudden, his ship was enveloped in a blinding light. A man's voice, I see you got here. You're late, possessive form. It's the Tau. And then the blah blah blah, massive monuments and blah blah. They passed out. Tamina, Master Chief, then a giant metal squid that read Shepard.
By this point, I'm pretty sure.
What is going on in this story?
I don't know. It's like the aftermath of a massive crossover that the author was just aware that they would never be able to make.
Apparently, self-inserts are also a cult.
What?
Sneaky, to be honest, I will not be surprised if Ted Turner will turn up in this week and scream, Capitan Planet!
Yeah, I know,
By this
right?
point, because there is a place for Robo Chicken here. There is a warm spot.
Oh yes, here we go. Alien Metroid, the anthem of Mass Halo Star Destiny War Trek Effect, 40K, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Electric Boogaloo vs. Predator Craft 5.
I'm upset.
The fuck?
You are welcome.
I didn't thank you, sir.
No problem. I thank you for me.
You do not speak for me in this instance, I assure you.
Anyway, needless to say, after being hypnotized and learning all the languages, blah blah blah, self-insert cult, and blah blah, I bring you all here so you can all learn about the end and the beginnings. What even is this story? It's like, hey, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a massive crossover at the end of the crossover, and then we're gonna tell a story about the beginning of the end? I don't understand. I don't understand this author's logic on how to organize.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm scared and confused. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the fic. Our last fic of the night. That
Oh, thank Christ.
That Zarlin linked to us.
Oh, no.
Now, do remind everyone that this is, in fact, the story that he linked to us, saying this is the worst self-insert ever.
No, I said one of the. It's a
Oh.
spiritual child of Perfect Lionheart inserts.
Well, as long as there's no torture porn, I think we'll be okay reading this for the stream.
There is no torture porn, but the main protagonist apparently wanted to become a doctor so he can play with corpses.
Oh, good.
Oh, yes, of course. How silly of us not to realize that. Oh, God.
He also being absolute douche, even to Issei. I don't like Issei, because I really don't like stupid perverted stuff that he does. If remove the perverted stuff, he's pretty decent character, but with perverted stuff, I just dislike him. But even Issei doesn't deserve this.
What the fuck? Apparently the reviews all agree with us about how bad this story is.
You want me, Sneaky, want me to do the reading? I tried this fic on SB. I know the
Sure.
stuff.
If you want to read this, go for it.
All right. Hello everyone, this is my new story. I look many people do self-instead story. So I often see they did that in Naruto, Fairy Tail, etc. I was thinking to make one, but in DSD. This is a slight crossover with Naruto, and that, listeners, means that he'll steal frequently, basically half of everything he does from Naruto and pretty much from everything around him. He's basically like a magpie. A drunken, drug addict magpie. My OC will gain EMS, Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, for all of you who think it was too much, why don't you think what my OC enemy would be? There are God. Apparently, God is a multiple being, поскольку there are. Heavenly Dragon, Mao. So I guess Sharingan is a good gift, and no, it won't become a Rinnegan. Apparently not now, but in the future, because he'll becoming God. A little bit of spoiler. Here is the new story, and warning! This story will have bad grammar, marries you, I don't own Naruto or DxD. Prologue. Another
Right.
normal day at school. It's been 17 years since I was born in this world. 17 years, this is... Apparently we skip all the interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Like how he was as a child. You must be confused by what I mean. This world, aren't you? Apparently we're the world now. Well, the truth is, I am not who I am. Strange, huh? Anyway, my name is Kai, and this is the point where I, as a Russian person, must say that he still didn't get that eye shard out of his heart. Who is Russian or who know Russian cartoons of old will understand what I mean. But my name from before was Leon Ang. Apparently he was Avatar. You see, I'm not originally from this world. I was doctor before. Well, you could say new doctor. Wise doctor with a capital D, I'm not sure, but he sure as hell wasn't the Time Lord. I just graduated from a medical student 1 year prior. And I like to tell you all about my previous life, but that's another story. I'm not sure it would be interesting or no, but I don't want to check. I will tell you all what happened to me before I was born as Kai. Still waiting for that eye shard in his heart. One day I was about to go home from a hospital. As new doctor, I still work as a secretary under senior doctor at the time. So this is the first part. Is he a secretary or doctor? I don't know, a stooge. What the hell is he? Because I know doctors. They don't work as secretaries. There is secretaries. They sit behind the desk and do nothing and wonk. When I was about to cross the road, my phone started ringing. I noticed the traffic lamp was still red, so I decided to answer. It was a call from my mother. She was saying she had some problems with my father who was drinking somewhere. So she asked me to pick him up. In the bar my father is near my workplace. Alright, so the kid that apparently either he is 21 or he is 25. I'm not sure how far he got into his career as a doctor or a secretary. And he's picking his father from a bar.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about actually having a job in the medical field, that's at least 4 years.
As a secretary.
Well, I mean, even if it's a secretary, if he's going for a doctorate in medical field, then, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe he's part-timing as a secretary at a hospital, so maybe he's still halfway through college, but...
No. I'm not sure how it is in America or anywhere else, but in Russia, the doctors here doesn't work as secretaries. We have secretary staff in hospitals, in big hospitals.
I know that. I know. I'm just saying, I don't know why he's a secretary, because that's not how America does it either. It's just maybe he's doing it as a part-time job while he's still a student to pay off bills or something. I don't know.
What in God's name have I come back to?
No. Next. While I was talking to her, I noticed the traffic light became green, so I decided to walk while talking on the phone. However, what I didn't notice was that some truck was moving so fast. It seems like the driver is driver in hurry, so he/she decided to run through and ignore the traffic lights. That's when everything goes to hell. Okay, the first point, what the fuck? He didn't notice a truck. A fucking truck. I
mean,
understand it has a
listen.
bike or something.
Listen, I walk through downtown Chicago. People don't notice cars all the time, or they willfully ignore them.
Yeah, that's a very common problem here in the States, actually.
Okay, at last moment, I managed to look at the truck since I hear someone screaming. Apparently, he can hear screaming, but can hear the 18 wheels of American Dream.
Like I said, willful
Uh,
ignorance.
Well, it depends on the. Actually, yeah, no. What's he mean by truck?
The last I
Because
see was the lights from the truck before it hit me. Apparently, he's also a midget. Because he should be a meter 20 or meter 10 to see the lights to the face.
Well, it's probably truck cutting, so I'm assuming an 18-wheeler.
He's still way too short. It's meter 30. At the time, I was feeling like I'm flying, and suddenly, bam, I feel like my back's. Apparently, he has more than one. Being crushed by a mountain. Apparently, the 18-wheel didn't even bother to stop it, just ran him over. I can feel everything slipping, going blank. I also noticed one other thing. I was going to die. Well, no shit! Even Jesus would have a hard time coming back from being rolled over by an 18-wheel. With this realization, I recall my life. I was able to remember when I graduated from high school with my friends. I remember when I played with some cadaver. Okay, this is the part that killed me. He was playing with a corpse. I have no comments. This is literally what he says.
All right,
People playing
apparently
with
this story is about Logan Paul. Carry on.
When I was still in college, I remember when I laughed, when I was sad, when I fought my parents for my girlfriend. Apparently, we're in the Middle Ages now. Who in the end cheated on me? Apparently, we're in Quentin Tarantino movie. And I realized one thing: my life is seriously boring. Both words with the capital first letters. Wonderful. Apparently, emotions and normal life is boring. I studied for 12 years in school, from elementary to high school, without anything interesting happening. Then I spent 7 years to become doctor. Okay, so he's a doctor. Not to mention, I was nerd. While I thinking about this, I can hear several people screaming, and my body being lifted, but it useless. I can feel life start to fade from my body. I can't even open my eyes. I must hit my head hard for me to rupture my optic nerve. I mutter one thing before I succumb to the darkness. I wish the next world is not boring like this one. With that, my body went. Apparently, the next part of screaming came from another.
I'm
for
pretty sure he
another
just
reason.
lifted this straight out of an isekai light novel.
He did, but right now I'm imagining a very bloody pancake start talking, and the next part there is no doctors, there's only exorcists at this point, because right now he's a bloody pancake, run over by 18 wheels. He isn't supposed to talk. He's dead. I saw a person that was run over by 18 wheels. Not in real life, I saw it in video. There is no fucking way to survive. You're basically in 5 parts.
One of my personal favorites was in my driving class. They showed a smart car that got hit by a 18-wheeler head on. First of all, it was a third the size it normally was, and the person inside was cut in half.
Yeah, but this guy managed to talk a whole fucking sentence without stuttering.
Like I said, I don't know if this is actually supposed to be like a semi-truck, because
it should be a fucking trans country one, the big ones.
The issue here is that I'm in the southern states, so when you say truck, our first thought is usually a pickup truck of some sort, not a semi-truck. So I don't know what kind of truck he means, and it doesn't help that there's so many different fucking kinds of trucks. So if it is an 18-wheeler, he's dead. He's not saying anything. It's not like getting hit by a bus. You get hit by that, you get dragged out of the tires, you're done.
The problem here is that he was looking right at the lights. That means this 18-wheeler is supposed to be one of those huge trans-country ones. You know, the ones with the high lights.
We're aware. We live in the United States, the birthplace of long-haul trucking.
Sorry, I'm been in Russia.
No, it said I managed to look at the truck and I see the lights from the truck. Do you guys not
The
have
tank
pickup
was-
trucks with headlights?
The problem is that he has to look directly at the lights. He's supposed to be 1.10 meters or so to be on the level of the lights.
That's yes, but you could still see the.
Read the sentence. He was looking directly at the lights.
The last I see was the lights. He wasn't looking directly at the lights. He just saw the lights. You could still see the headlights when you're standing. Meter. You shut up back there.
What is he doing besides drinking?
I don't know what he's doing. No, you can still see the lights on a truck though. It doesn't matter if it's semi or not. It didn't say he's looking at the lights directly. It just says the last thing he sees are the lights of the truck. Doesn't help that you can also there's also roof-mounted lights. You can mount lights to the front of the fucking grill or on the fucking tip the front of the hood, which I've seen before here in the South. It's very strange.
Okay, but the problem here is that supposedly the truck hits him, crushes his spine, but also leaves him with the ability to say a full sentence. Like, it doesn't really matter what kind of truck hit him. It crushed his spine into a pulp, and yet he still is like.
Yeah, well, that would have to. Well, for it to break his spine, it would have to literally be the most basic bitch of pickup trucks. Like, we call it a pickup truck, but it doesn't actually do anything aside from look like a truck.
This is honestly one of the points that the author doesn't know what a truck is. Because honestly, this is literally what I was talking about when I was roasting this story. Okay, let's move on to the next part. We have a lot more to come. Okay, first thing I noticed when I died was it's dark, very dark. It's also frightening. I feel fear start to crawl down my spine. I move or try to move, but somehow my body seems to have a hard time to moving. This grammar is killing me. Then suddenly I feel something pushing me from behind. I was about to turn and see what pushed me, but I can't. I can't see anything. It's too dark. Apparently, he's Nicolas Cage. The darkness does not stay for long. I suddenly see light. Yes, a light. I can feel my body being pushed to that light. I didn't think about anything that at the time. I was just thinking to get out from this darkness, to that light. With that, I tried to move to the light, being helped by something that pushed me on. More precisely, I helped pushing me when I reached the light. Suddenly, the entire world was a blur to me. It wasn't quite color blindness, but the easiest thing to see was that stark contrast between light and dark. How color blindness and blurry vision are connected, I am not sure. But apparently it is.
To the light!
I could see shapes and edges, but the world looked incredibly confusing. Now, this isn't what I expected. I was thinking, trying to see where I was, but something blurry like this? No, not something expected at all. I was about to speak, but I found no words. Rather, it was like babbling, and apparently it's a language because it started with a capital letter. Apparently, Genius Children was a movie that was actually from National Geographic. Eisen yelled, shouted, roared, but my voice it seemed to stay away. Apparently, his lungs are running away from him. I can felt something wetting my face. Apparently, the doctor was spitting him, or it was like in that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where they poured some of the snake's venom onto the baby. Apparently, he need to fuck some kind of a saint to get a baby. I tried to touch my face, but I found I can't move my hands and legs. So how the fuck he was helping his mother push him out? I can feel I was being lifted and carried. Now, I know I'm not that tall or heavy, but this is ridiculous. I can feel I'm being held on a crook of someone's arm. How the fuck he determined that? What is scaring me? A giant, a monster, apparently both with the capital letters. Once again, fear started to crawl through my body. Naturally, I was not the type of a person who was easy get afraid of something, I mean, I have seen cadavers that only have half a face, cadavers who got spilled, locked alone with a dozen corpses, seeing gruesome wound from patients, but I don't know why I'm afraid now. Seeing, talking, shouting were useless. I did the only thing I could have. I screamed, I wailed, I cried. Okay, apparently this guy is apparently a universal soldier. He doesn't feel fear normally. Locked alone with a dozen corpses. Okay, I love the lines. He apparently played with them and molested them. But come on, even the United States Marines would have been afraid if we were woken up in this situation. Holy shit. This is horrible. Any comments?
I think that's pretty much a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, that sums everything up.
This is bullshit. Apparently, how the hell he was helping his mother push him out? Apparently, she was cheating him out. By the description of the feeling. 17 years later. Apparently, we skipped all the interesting parts. Oni-san, you're doing it again, aren't you? I asked to see the boy that became my brother in this new world. Twin, actually, when Web born, are they fucking children of lols? He was the first to exit from Mother Womb. 1 minute 37 seconds after me. My brother jumped in surprise and turned to see me with sheepish look. The fuck? Apparently he is born from lols.
Well, apparently
There are so many
Quinn
problems
was
with that.
born before him, a minute 30 seconds after he himself was born. Somehow. So now we're trapped in a time paradox.
No. Okay, he was the first to exit the mouth of. Okay, he was the first to exit, then he jumped back, and he was the one pushing him out.
Alright, so one of these brothers has time powers, but they're not telling us which one. Clearly.
Ah, Kai, you startled me, my brother said in a sheepish tone from the bush. My brother has hair that reminds me of Jin Kazama from Taken. Random reference is random. Except he has more bangs covering his forehead, and it was light brown instead of black like Jin, followed by loud brown eyes. This boy like me and our parents all have brown hair. Everyone in my family has brown hair and light brown eyes, except I have black eyes for some reason. The reason is not explained yet, because after when writing this wasn't yet aware he was going to give his main character a Sharingan.
I also want
My
to point
brother's-
out that a sign of creative bankruptcy is when you're like, I'm not going to describe the thing. I'm just gonna be like, she looks like Sarah Kerrigan before she was infested. It's like, fucking really?
My brother seems to have inherited his hair from my father, when I seem to have inherited my hair from my mother, seeing I have straight hair like the prince in the school, Yuto Kiba, who has actually spiky hair. Wonderful. Apparently it's spiked like a porcupine or a hedgehog. Apparently he's a human hedgehog, pinhead. He's already a demon. Seriously, Nissan, you need to stop this. You are lucky that I able to save you last time. I cited. Oh my god, he is basically enabler. He is basically persona. He was already shooting himself in the head. Hey, if Matsuda didn't yell my name, I wouldn't have been caught, he retorted. And that's why I forbid you to hang out with them, I glared at him. Ah, come on, Kai, you know fun. I tell you it's fun to be alone with them, he pouted. Yes, but it's no fun seeing your brother get pummeled by girls. Seriously, you are human. I don't know how you are able to handle the beating that Kendo Club gives to you, I protested. Ah, yeah, I forgot to tell her I was well. You could say now I'm in the DXD world, you know, right? The world where devils, fallen angels, and angels exist and live among us. Now you wonder, how can I know about this world, right? Well, I just say my friend is Otaku and the hard one. A parrot of Otaku, you can say as well, and this is one of her favorites. Yes, my pervert friend was girl. Don't be surprised, women can be pervert too, you know. Okay, this is absolutely sexist. Okay, I need a dinger like in cinema scene. Seriously, can I have a dinger here? Why do you think they're drooling when Korean artist removes their shorts while singing?
Well, if
Okay, what the fuck? What is a Korean artist?
There
This
you
is
go.
Japan.
Have some sins. All the sins. Plenty of sins to go around. There you go.
Oh no.
Agreed. Even some of them throw underwear. Okay, this is not sexist. This is racist. This is literally racism written into poetry.
Oh wait, no, oh no, see that's a thing that happens in the States sometimes. Like you hear about it usually with older rock concerts, like 70s and 80s. That was a thing. Probably still
the
is a
underwear
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a thing here in the States. Sorry to inform you of that, sir.
No. I mean, they undress and basically streak naked. He's talking about naked.
No, he's talking about the women throwing underwear, not the Korean artists.
Even some of them throw underwear. Okay. Okay, I got it. For God's sake, underwear. We men may be perverted, but we don't throw our underwear to the stadium when our favorite singer sings. That was crossing the line, damn it. Okay, this is sexist once again. Ding. Anyway, I went off topic. I was really confused to watch the DVD that my friend gave me, but seeing at the time I bored. Apparently, it's a process. It's like rotting. So why not? I mean, I'm a man, and to like the ladies' bodies in our nature. So apparently he's sexist to himself. I watched TXD until Valley declared he was the descendant of Lucifer. And after that, I stopped watching. But still, even if I watch TXD DVD, I still somehow find it hard to remember, as if it was a blur. Yeah, I don't even remember all mouse names except for Sazax and Seraphol. Those two are really funny. Oh yeah, they're apparently comedic actors now. Oi, Earth to Kai, Earth calling Kai, Mayday, Mayday, come in Kai. My brother waving his hand in front of me broke me from my memories. Apparently he's spacing out each time he's monologuing at us. This is literally breaking the fourth wall with his thoughts. And sorry, Nissan, I just got up caught in something. I rubbed my back neck before I clear my throat. Apparently he's more than one neck. Anyway, let's get out. Let's get you out from here before Katasa-san Murayama-san will find you. I then started to drag him by his short collar. But they just removed their clothes. I will be able to see their opai. I just got to the best part. Gah! My brother was silent when we both heard someone screaming. I take a guess Matsuda got caught and soon Matahama will be there. Not there! Don't distract there! You were saying, Nissan? I said with a deadpan expression. Thank you, he said unsure, and I sighed. Yeah, my brother Hugo says that the protagonist of the story, one of perverted trio, the self-proclaimed Karen King, when he becomes a devil later, anyway. And we're at Kyo Academy, at school that was ruled by Cyprian Grammary clans heresies, Son and Res respectively. When I said the world was boring, I didn't mean to send me to this one here, damn it. Not to mention I was always going around with the protagonist who always got hit by Murphy Law. Oh, wonderful. He's bitching now after 17 years of apparently building it up.
Yeah, also, no, Issei's not hit by Murphy's Law. Issei's hit by the consequences of his stupidity. That's not Murphy's Law. That's just basic
Hallelujah! Kai-kun, a feminine voice, too called me as I was dragging Nissan away. I turned to see Katasa and Murayama standing there. I can see Nissan becoming pale, but I kept a calm and stoic expression. Hello, Katasa-san, Murayama-san, Kendo Club. Apparently the background fodder doesn't even deserve to be named. May I ask why you're surrounding me? I ask in a polite tone of voice. Well, Kai, you see, we just got two of the parody trio peeping on us again, but we were confused when Issei-san wasn't anywhere close by. Well, Katasa-san, as you can see, my brother's not peeking at you. We were just walking around, right, Nissan? Yes, the weather's good today. Ha. He laughed nervously. Very good act, Nissan. Murayama narrowed her eyes. Wonderful. Murayama just closed a breach in the fourth wall with her glare. Now, Murayama-san, Katasa-san, you all didn't have proof that he was speaking at you, so maybe go. I'm sure Sona Kaicho won't like it if I reported to her that you were beating my brother without reason. Probably thinking we're going to beat him. You don't have proof. but I stay calm. Katasa smirked, but I stay calm. Well, seeing the girl behind you just ripped Nissan's picture and looked at him with deadly eyes. Isn't it obvious? I smirked a bit and Katasa turned to see one of club member blushing before she turned to me again with frown. If you say so, you win again this time, Kaikun, but don't think you're able to protect him forever. Katasa said, apparently she is the good mother of this academy, said with a glare to Essie first before she turns around to leave. See you next time, Kaikun. Murayama smiled and winked at me before she also turned around to leave. Apparently the harem is already starting.
Yes.
All of Kendo Club member, only Murayama seemed kind to me. Well, after all, I got through teaching her a few tricks in Kendo at least. Yes, I was also in the Kendo Club, but for boys, not girls. This is literally not how it works. All right. I also able to defeating our teacher with ease. The one begins. Please prepare fasten your seat belts and prepare the barf pockets. Oh, the barf bags. How can I be so good at martial arts, you ask? Well, I have been learning martial arts since I was 9. Isani also learned some kendo movements. I was the one who suggested it to him and he accepted. Notice how his bitchy is saying basically downplays him each time he compares the two of them. It will be it will be a scene in this fic where he makes Issei the stepping stone for elevate his own greatness.
Of course.
The protagonist is basically his bitch at this point. I said perhaps it will become useful someday, but the truth is I trained him and myself in order to prepare for the future. Apparently, he is also a master right now. I don't know if I should prevent him from becoming a devil or not, but if he's the protagonist, then I don't have a choice. Okay, and for me, I don't know. Perhaps I should stay as human. Okay, this sentence is one that pissed me off. You do not follow the script just for the sake of following the script. He's not a protagonist. He's now your fucking brother. For 17 fucking years, developed some human feelings.
Oh no, you see,
This
he's a psychopath. And
he's more than a psychopath. He's a murdering psycho.
Sociopathy?
huh?
Isn't
He's
it
a socio-
sociopathy?
Well, no, because sociopathy is a mental disorder born from interaction, while psychopathy is something you are born with genetically. They more or less have the same overall social effects, but sociopaths are more impulsive, while psychopaths are more long-term planning.
He's both. Let's decide on a middle ground. Saying for the safe guy, man that was closest in his silent relief. Anyway, class is about to start. See you after school, Nissan. I waved my hand and started to leave. My class was different from his. I don't know why the console separated us. Apparently, they already sense your evil aura. Hey, look, it's Kai-kun. He's handsome as always. I groan mentally. Apparently, he's also have fun girls. Of course, he need to elevate his ego even more. He's like Eric Cartman of Japanese self-inserts. But on the outside, I keep my face stoic. Fun girls, damn it. You know, in my previous life, I was curious how it was if you have fun. And now I wish I kept my mouth shut. I noticed another set of squeals from the girls around me. Kai-kun, hey. Oh my god, this is sounds like something from the Navy. I turn around and see Yuto Kiba smile at me. And I noted back Kiba and I are friends. Thought not the best of friends. He will help me if I ask him. We also have same problem. Fan girls. Hello Kiba, how are you? Apparently these girls are mechanical, but we imagine that. I'm fine, how are you? He was still smiling at me. Apparently he's a poster boy now. The usual saving my brother from the Kendo club's rise. I sighed a little and he chuckles. As usual, you know, if it wasn't because your face was a replica of his, I wouldn't believe that the two are twins, he chuckled. Well, what can I say? We're twins, so it's obvious we have the same faces. So our hair is different. Seriously, Nissan is not bad actually. He may not be handsome like Kiba, but at least he good looking. The only thing that make girls stay away from him is his perverted nature. Yeah, but Nissan isn't Nissan if he not a pervert. I chuckled, making Kiba laugh. True. Anyways, the bell will ring soon. I will go on first. See you later. Kiba waved and I nodded. Yeah, see you later. Wonderful. This is what was like when I remember my school earlier years when we were learning English. This is a dialogue cut from there. This is basically what you feed to children who just came out of the kindergarten. Wonderful dialogue breaking. You what? Mother, father, and I yelled at shock. I got a girlfriend, Iseni grinned to me. While my parents seem happy, I am not. If I recall, this is where Issa, her name is Amayuma. She asked me to just before I met you at the gate, Iseni chuckled. Oh crap, if I recall, her name was Laina Raya Lowell. No, damn it, I forgot her name. Hey Kai, what's wrong? You seem pale. Are you sick? Nissan asked me. I don't mean to mock you, Nissan, but seriously, some girl asking you on the date. Nissan, I admit you aren't ugly because saying you're ugly is the same saying I'm ugly too. Notice the boosting of his own ego by the use of his say. This is a pattern. What makes you not popular is your reputation as a pervert. And now out of nowhere this girl comes and asks you on a date. Don't you find it strange? Have you asked her why she wanted to go out with you? I said this wordly, and this also got mom and dad's attention. Hey, don't believe in my charm? Iseni said in her tone, and we just stared at him with the pan expressions. Wonderful. This is a family of, I don't know. There is literally no words, no support here. Even they're supposed to be happy that finally he'll settle down and stop being a perv, but come on. Does it need to be asked, Pan, as I can hear a snap sound like inside Nissan's body? Apparently, his connection to reality finally snapped. You hurt me, Kai, Iseni murmured in his hurt tone. But what Kai said is true, Issei. You have to be careful, okay? Mom said with a worried tone and Nissan nodded. Don't worry, I'll introduce her to you tomorrow, Kai. Our date is this Sunday, 3 days from now. You have to see her, Mom. That Kai, she a beauty. My God. This big pie, Issei said with parroted face that makes me roll my eyes. Sure, she's a beauty. She was angel after all, but before she became a fallen angel. And that's the first chapter, and I'm still trying to restore the damage done to my tongue from reading all this grammatic horror.
I feel for you.
This is literally this cannot be addressed enough. This guy literally writes with his toys, not his fingers, with his toys. The next chapter, Death and Rebirth, this is the second chapter I roasted on Space Battles, and the first part is also wonderful. Hello everyone, here is the chapter 1. Apparently the previous chapter wasn't a chapter, it was a prologue. Now I was thinking about Kai harem. This list is possible harem for Kai. I noticed Asya never got too close with Sei, so I plan to make you into Kai. What the fuck? I understand that Asya was literally the only positive influence on Issei, even if he corrupted her severely. But this is like he saved her life.
Yeah, I always was curious when
This
they were
is-
like, I'm gonna make
this
it
is bullshit.
so... Yeah.
This is bullshit. Kino Sinove Office Sona Kaneko. Issei Rios. Absolutely, I love this too. Irina, Kuroka, Rosways, Ravel. Now, notice a pattern here. Issei has less girls than Kai. This is just me, but this is already a telling. And his harem will only grow, while Issei's harem will shrink. Give me your opinion for the harem. Now enjoy the story. The opinions varied because the people already knew writer with bad grammar. But nobody else approved of this. But he ignored us. He just says harems bigger.
Of course.
Oh, not it says Kai's harem bigger. It says harem was shrinking. Apparently, like it says, rolling this fig. Yuma, this is my twin brother Kai. Kai, this is Yuma, my girlfriend. Nisa introduced Yuma to me with big smile. I look Yuma with skeptical. With skeptical what? with skeptical look, with what? With skeptical empty space. Insert your own imagination here. I admit she was beauty. She even reviled Akino senpai beauty as expected from fallen angel. Apparently, normal girls can be beautiful. You need something supernatural to happen to them for them to be pretty. Apparently, the normal Earth girls are not good enough for Kai. Kai needs a hooky from heaven. Hi, Yuma smiled and extended her hand to me. I have to keep calm. If I asking her too many questions, she can get suspicious and her spear will impale my stomach instead of say, yeah, let's not take a shot from a foreign protected, untested, and untrained civilian. Let's not protect your brother. Let's save your own pathetic ass. Luckily, I has trained my emotion as doctor, so when I give bad news to some family, I able to control my emotion. I smile a bit and shook her. Notice, apparently he has only one emotion.
Well,
And
of course,
doctors
wouldn't you?
and training your emotions to keep telling bad news. Your father is dead. Be sad. This is a stimuli. Now out. This is basically apparently how he gave bad news. Apparently, he also threw a teddy bear wearing a dark smoking at them, just to be sure. Hyudokai, I don't. Oh my god! Each time I read it, I automatically almost read Hyudoken. I don't know what you see in my brother, but take care of him. Okay. This is literally his bitch slapping his brother in front of his girlfriend, even if he didn't know that she's a murderous psycho. This is literally a bitch slap to his brother. This is against bro code. I said in warm tone, ignoring Issei glare while you giggling
Okay.
to me.
I'm gonna go. I'm not sticking around for another chapter of this,
Yeah,
and we're
no,
15
yeah.
minutes over.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna stop him. I was just having too much fun. All right. Thanks, Sarla.
No, if you want, I can stop. Okay,
Yeah,
no problem.
No, we only do the first chapter of these stories because they are that painful. Yeah, so if you want, you can always just drop the link to your roasting of it in the Discord chat if people want to check that out. And I'll see you all next Friday, which will likely be operating on the normal Friday schedule, but I can't reassure you guys of that because the schedule's going to get weird for the next couple weeks.
Oh boy.
See you all next time. At least I'll be here. There's always more, and it always gets worse.